Just about every parent is going to think about whether or not their child is normal at some stage or another, and it's probably one of the most Googled questions. But how do you know whether your child is really normal? And there are 5 things to consider. The first is about how do they compare to others. So what we need to think about is that actually normal, or what constitutes normal, varies a lot, and it's going to vary for every child. As the saying goes, normal is just a setting on the dryer. This isn't to suggest that there aren't functional problems at the extreme ends of the spectrum. There's going to be a big range within which what we would consider is normal behaviour for a child. So, for example, some children, they are sort of severely lacking in physical energy. They can have not very much interest in physical exercise, and this can worry parents. But at the other end of the spectrum, some children have lots and lots of energy compared to their peers. This can be seen as that hyperactivity, that they're hyperactive, and this can be suggestive of something like attention deficit hyperactivity disorder, or ADHD. But in order for a child to be diagnosed with ADHD, they'd need a formal assessment. A practical tip in relation to determining whether or not something is normal in terms of behaviour is about getting feedback. Feedback from people that know about your child and their what's normal in terms of child development. It can be hard to get this feedback because no one wants to hear negative comments about their child, but an experienced teacher or childcare provider can be a really good person to talk to. And if you've got concerns, some good questions to ask are things like, how does my child compare to the other children in the class in terms of their emotional development? Or what have you noticed in terms of what my child does really well? Because if you're having a conversation about what your child is not doing well, it's also good to talk about what are their strengths, as well as hearing about their areas of development. So for further information, you can check out the NHS's child health web pages and read up on things like how much exercise should my child do, and this can give you an idea of what is to be expected. You can find a link to that posted under this video.
If you enjoyed this clip, feel free to follow the links on screen for more interesting articles and free courses from the Open University.